Before the universe as we know it, there was nothing. No light, no sound, no movement. Just an endless, dark void called chaos. This wasn't emptiness in the way we think about it. Chaos was everything and nothing at the same time. A swirling mass of raw potential waiting to burst into existence. From this chaos, the very first things came into being. Not gods yet, not heroes, but the fundamental building blocks of reality itself. First came Gaia, the earth. She wasn't just land or dirt. She was the entire physical world, alive and conscious. A deity so powerful that everything else would spring from her. Next came Tartarus, the deepest pit beneath the earth, darker than chaos itself. Then Eros appeared, the primordial force of attraction and desire that would drive all creation forward. Without Eros, nothing would come together. Nothing would connect. The universe would remain scattered fragments in the dark. Gaia looked around at the emptiness above her and decided she needed a partner. So from herself, she created Uranus, the sky. He stretched above her like a vast dome covered in stars. Together, Gaia and Uranus became the first divine couple. They had children, lots of them. But these weren't ordinary children. These were the Titans, massive and powerful beings who would rule before the gods you know today. There were 12 Titans in total. Oceanus controlled the great river that encircled the world. Hyperion brought light. Themis represented divine law. And then there was Cronus, the youngest and most cunning of them all. But Uranus feared his children. He saw their power and worried they would overthrow him. So he did something terrible. He took the Titans and shoved them back into Gaia's womb, trapping them in the darkness of Tartarus. This caused Gaia incredible pain. She suffered with these massive beings trapped inside her, unable to be free. Gaia couldn't take it anymore. She needed help, and she needed revenge. She crafted a massive sickle from adamantine, an unbreakable divine metal. She called her children and asked who would stand up to their father. Most were too afraid, but Cronus volunteered. He hated Uranus for what he'd done. Gaia gave him the sickle and told him to wait. That night, when Uranus came down to lie with Gaia, Cronus struck. He grabbed his father and castrated him with one swift cut. Uranus screamed in agony. His blood spilled onto the earth, and from those drops more beings were born. The Furies emerged, spirits of vengeance who would hunt down anyone who committed terrible crimes, especially against family. The Giants came next, massive warriors born from divine violence. And when Uranus's severed parts fell into the sea, the foam that formed gave birth to Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. Even from violence, beauty emerged. Uranus, wounded and humiliated, retreated into the sky forever. Before he left, he cursed Cronus. He told him that one day his own children would do to him what he had just done to his father. Cronus laughed it off. He thought he was too smart for that. Now Cronus ruled. He married his sister Rhea, and together they had children. But Cronus remembered his father's curse. Paranoia consumed him. Every time Rhea gave birth, Cronus took the baby and swallowed it whole. One after another. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, all swallowed. Still alive, but trapped inside their father's belly, just like the Titans had been trapped inside Gaia. Rhea was devastated. She couldn't bear to lose another child. When she became pregnant again, she went to Gaia for help. Together they came up with a plan. When the baby was born, Rhea hid him in a cave on the island of Crete. She wrapped a stone in blankets and brought it to Cronus. He didn't even look. He just grabbed it and swallowed it whole. The baby, named Zeus, was safe. Zeus grew up hidden away, raised by nymphs and protected by warriors who clashed their shields to cover the sound of his cries. He grew strong, smart, and angry. When he became an adult, he knew what he had to do. He disguised himself and tricked Cronus into drinking a special potion. Cronus immediately vomited up everything he'd swallowed. First the stone, then all 5 of Zeus's siblings, fully grown and ready for war. The battle that followed is called the Titanomachy. It lasted 10 years. Zeus and his siblings, the Olympians, fought against Cronus and most of the Titans. The world shook with their fury. Mountains crumbled, oceans boiled, lightning split the sky as Zeus hurled thunderbolt after thunderbolt. Poseidon wielded his trident, causing earthquakes. Hades brought the terror of the underworld into battle. Zeus knew they needed more help. He went down into Tartarus and freed the Cyclopes and the Hecatoncheires, the 100-handed giants who Uranus had also imprisoned. In gratitude, the Cyclopes forged weapons for the Olympians. Zeus received his thunderbolt. Poseidon got his trident. Hades received a helmet that made him invisible. With these weapons and the Hecatoncheires fighting alongside them, the tide turned. The Titans were defeated. Cronus and his allies were chained up and thrown into Tartarus, guarded by the Hecatoncheires so they could never escape. The Titanomachy was over. The age of the Olympians had begun. Zeus and his brothers drew lots to divide the cosmos. Zeus won the sky and became king of the gods. Poseidon took the seas. Hades received the underworld. Gaia, the earth, was shared by all. The sisters took their roles as well. Hera became queen and goddess of marriage. Demeter ruled over the harvest. Hestia watched over the hearth and home. But the universe still needed humans. Prometheus, a titan who had sided with Zeus, created humanity from clay. He shaped them in the image of the gods and gave them life. But humans were weak, cold, and struggling. Prometheus felt sorry for them. So he stole fire from the gods and gave it to humanity. Fire meant warmth, cooked food, tools, and civilization. Zeus was furious. As punishment, he chained Prometheus to a rock where an eagle would eat his liver every day, only for it to grow back each night. Zeus also punished humanity. He had Hephaestus, the god of the forge, create the first woman, Pandora. She was beautiful and curious. The gods gave her a jar, often mistranslated as a box, and told her never to open it. But curiosity got the better of her. When she opened it, all the evils of the world flew out. Disease, death, envy, greed, pain. Everything that makes human life hard. Pandora tried to close it, but it was too late. Only one thing remained inside: hope. That tiny glimmer that keeps humans going, no matter how bad things get. And so the world was complete. From the swirling void of chaos came the earth and the sky. From their union came the Titans. From their downfall came the Olympian gods, and from divine rebellion came humanity, flawed and mortal, but touched by the gods. The creation of the world in Greek mythology isn't just a story of gods and monsters. It's a story about power, family, betrayal, and the cycles that repeat through every generation. It's about the struggle between order and chaos, the cost of ambition, and the drive to create something greater than yourself. These myths weren't just entertainment for the ancient Greeks. They explained the origins of everything they saw. Why the sky was above and the earth below. Why humans suffered. Why hope still existed. These stories gave meaning to their lives and connected them to something bigger. And thousands of years later, they still resonate. Because the themes are timeless. The fight against tyranny, the fear of being replaced, the courage to stand up even against overwhelming odds. That's why Greek mythology still matters today.